Hey there everyone, I'm JJ Corey, Salesforce Developer Lead at Penrod. Today, I'm going to walk you through, at a very basic level, how to do some development with Salesforce DX. For those of you that don't know, Salesforce DX is the new developer experience that will be generally available as part of the Winter 18 Salesforce release. DX is a move towards source-driven development, and it makes collaboration between developers much simpler with something called Scratch orgs, which I'll get to in a bit. For now, let's get started. For the sake of this video, I'm going to assume you have installed the Salesforce DX command line interface, or CLI. If you have not, please take some time to do so now. If you already have the CLI installed, we should be good to go. To start, we need to initialize a DX project. To do so, I'll run the force project create command, specifying the project name. You can see a skeleton project was created. Next, from the org we'll be working out of, I'll create an unmanaged package with the metadata I need. To do so, I'll navigate to the Package Manager from my org's Setup menu. There are a few different ways to retrieve metadata for Salesforce DX, but for this demo, I'll be going the unmanaged package route. In this case, I've created a basic Hello World Lightning app, which contains a very basic Lightning component. I'll go ahead and add these components to the package and upload it. Next, I'll go ahead and authorize DX to connect to my org. I'll then use the force metadata API retrieve command, specifying a path to store the retrieved metadata, my username for the org I'm retrieving from, and the name of the package I'm retrieving. Here, you can see the unpackaged.zip file was retrieved into the folder I specified. If I open that zip file and expand it, I can see the Hello World app and component from my org. Now, I'm going to specify the default Dev Hub username to use for my DX commands. Then, I run the force org create command to build a Scratch org. A Scratch org is a temporary org that can be instantly spun up and deployed to for development purposes. The project Scratch def JSON file that was constructed when I created the base DX project contains information about the Scratch org I want to create, like addition, features, and preferences. In the interest of saving time here, I went ahead and made some changes to my component. I implemented an interface, specified an Apex controller, created an attribute, referenced that attribute in my markup, and designated an init method. In my JavaScript controller, I've created the init method and made a call to my JavaScript helper. In my helper's init method, I've specified the name of the Apex method I'll be calling out to, and handled both success and failure responses from the server. Now, I need to actually create the Apex controller I specified in my component. To do so, I'll create an empty classes folder in my project and navigate to it via the command line. Then, I'll run the force apex class create command, specifying the name of the class. Next, I'll build out a very simple Apex method to return the first name of the user currently logged in. Next, I'll run the force org list command to get a list of all my connected orgs. I'll copy the username of my Scratch org and run the force org open command to open the Scratch org in a browser. You can also view your Scratch orgs from your Dev Hub. Now, I'm ready to push my changes to my Scratch org. If you don't specify the username of your Scratch org, you'll receive an error. Here, I see the changes to my Lightning component, JavaScript, and Apex. Navigating back to the org, I can see my changes were pushed. In order to see my component in action, I've added it to the home page via the Lightning App Builder. As such, I can navigate to the home page of any app and see that my very simple component has made it there, successfully pulling in the first name of the currently logged in user, which just so happens to be user. Now, I didn't like the way that looked, so I went ahead and created a Lightning card, styled my component a bit, and re-pushed the component to my Scratch org. The beauty of Salesforce DX is that it allows developers to use their own tools. For instance, I can choose what I want to use as far as IDE or text editor, source control, continuous integration, and so on. As I mentioned earlier, DX shifts focus to source-driven development. That is, the source control repository is now the source of truth. After I'm content with my changes, I can push this code to my source control repository and let my fellow developers review my pull request. And that's it. At a very basic level, I showed you how to create a DX project, pull down metadata, create new metadata, create a Scratch org, and push your changes to the Scratch org. You're well on your way to developing with Salesforce DX. Look forward to upcoming videos from us here on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or at our website at penrod.co. Please don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe. See you next time.